Hey guys, coming back to you today with another DIY home improvement project. Today we are in the bathroom and working on a problem with the exhaust fan. I'll show you what I mean. So as you can hear, that exhaust fan has a bad motor, the bearings have gone bad, and it's extremely noisy. So I'm going to show you the process that I go through to replace that fan and get it quiet and running smoothly again. So let's take a look. Okay guys, so the first step in repairing this bath fan, actually we're going to replace the motor, is to come up and figure out what model fan that you have. And a lot of times, at least in this area, Braun is one of the more popular manufacturers that you're going to find. And if you pop down this grill, there are wire tabs in here that you can squeeze. It's easier with two hands than with one. Once you get the one side down, the other side's pretty easy. So as you can see, these wires just squeeze and they go up into that groove right there. That's how that's held in there. So it comes down real easy. And if you look up, normally on these fan housings, so right there, I don't know how well you'll be able to see on camera, but right there, there's a model number, and it says model 688. And that 688 model number is what we need to be able to get a replacement. Here's the motor that's gone bad. So what I did was I knew that was a 688, so I went to the store, and you can actually purchase new motors for the fans, just the motor itself. But I went to Lowe's and the motors are $21, or you can get a complete new fan for $15. So I just went ahead and got a new fan. And when you open the box, so here's what you get inside the box. So you get a new the new grill cover, the new grate that goes on top. So that's good. It's nice and clean and white rather than the old dirty one, which of course you don't get if you just buy a new motor. You get the new housing, which if you were installing this in a new installation application, this would actually go, this would get screwed or nailed to a ceiling joist, but we don't really need this housing. All we really need is just this part that's got the motor mounted to it. So what we're gonna do, and if you had got the new motor, there's actually some screws here that you would take loose from that one in the ceiling, and you would take the motor and actually basically just back out those screws and then put the new motor on. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna come up here, we're gonna unplug. That's just a regular plug-in. And then we're gonna take a screwdriver, and this portion here that the fan is mounted in. Let's see if I can get some light. Okay, so what we're gonna do is the fan motor itself is actually mounted into this bracket, and this bracket will come out of the fan housing. So if you take a screwdriver, and we're gonna go from this side over here, you can actually pop this housing loose, like so. And once you pop it loose, it'll pull right down out of there. So now you can see, you can compare the two units that we have. There's the new one, there's the old one. As you can see, they are in fact the same, which is good. So what we're gonna do, so this piece again we took out of the housing in the ceiling, so we're gonna take the new one and we're just gonna pop it out of the new housing. So we're just gonna take a screwdriver, and pop that loose. And once you get this one side loose, it'll just pull right out of the housing. Like that. All right, so now you can really compare side by side the new one and the old one. You can see that they are in fact a match. So, you know, again, if we had, now at this point, if we had gotten the new replacement motor, we would be basically taking these screws out of here, which would take that fan motor loose from this metal plate, and then we'd reuse that plate. But since we just got a new one, we're going to take our new metal plate with the motor attached. So we're going to take this housing, which we won't use. We'll set that aside. All right, now we're going to come back up to the ceiling where we took this out before, and I should have said that you want to make note of the orientation that comes out. So you can see there's 2 tabs on this side and there's 1 tab on this side. So when I took it out, the 2 tabs I know were to the right. So we're going to go back the same direction. Those 2 tabs go into the little recessed areas there. And then we're going to push this up. And then that 3rd tab will engage like that. There, now it's in there securely. Simply plug that back in. And then we'll give it a test. There you go, nice and quiet. So now we will take the cover, pop those 2 springs loose. And again, all these do, so you squeeze these together, and then these 2 ears fit inside this slot here, and then there's a slot on the other side as well. So you just bring that up. This is really much easier with 2 hands, but bring that up, engage that into that slot, and then I'll do the same thing on this side, which you won't be able to see on camera. Okay, so once you get the wires engaged front and back, just give it a little push, and those wires will pop right into those slots, and there you go. It's attached, and again, nice and quiet. Well guys, there you go. As you can see, it's really not very difficult to install a new bathroom fan. In that case, as long as you're able to find a model that matches the existing model, which I generally am able to, unless it's sometimes if it's a really old house, it can be a little bit more difficult, but typically I can find a model that matches. And as you can see, it's very easy. You know, if I'm not trying to manipulate the camera and talk to you guys, it's like a 5-minute job. It really is very easy. So if you have a noisy bath fan, or if they get bad enough, sometimes it just won't run at all. Typically that's all it is. That motor over time will collect kind of lint and dust, and the moisture is hard on them, and basically it'll just wear out the bearings and the motor will quit. So go through the steps that I did. Again, it was $15 worth of parts, about 5 or 10 minutes of your time, and you'll have a nice trouble-free, quiet bathroom exhaust fan. So hopefully that was helpful, guys. If it was, do me a favor, like the video. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, bye.